The state of Oregon decriminalizes everything.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, now a lot of you guys are libertarians. You want to see things like marijuana legalized throughout the country. A lot of people think whoever you are, wherever you are, you should be able to do whatever you want to your body, and it shouldn't be a problem. But it is a problem. Because for every decision that you make about yourself, there is some ripple effect throughout the world. So that is why most governments will regulate what people do to themselves in some small way, if not very seriously, right? And there is a range, right? Do we go full authoritarian and tell people precisely what they can and cannot do in every moment of their lives? Or do we go full libertarian and say you can do whatever you want so long as it doesn't directly affect anybody else in a negative way, or in a seriously negative way, unless you're killing somebody or whatever. But I'm not so sure. Obviously, neither one of those extremes is good, but libertarians tend to err toward this idea of autonomy, personal freedom. But here's the thing, when it comes to drugs, when it comes to alcohol, you jump in a car and you're drunk, you could kill somebody, right? Maybe you don't kill somebody, but you're putting everybody's life at risk. We have essentially drugs legalized in Los Angeles, right? They aren't technically legal, I don't believe, but police do not arrest, do not prosecute people who are taking drugs or who have drugs, right? I think maybe no matter what drugs you have, you're kind of fine, right? And what's happened with downtown Los Angeles is that it has become flooded with homeless people. It is a hive of nastiness and dirtiness and vulgarity and ugliness. Valeria walks down the street and they scream at her, "Hey, yo, rich white girl," right? They viciously scream things at her, basically to intimidate her, basically to make her nervous. They're trying to be rude, they're trying to be vicious and nasty. These are not people that you want in your neighborhood. These are not people you want around you, all right? Making drug use of hard drugs illegal, I believe, is a good thing. Granted, I think it's more important to go after the drug dealers, to go after the distribution. But if you legalize drugs, there is a secondary effect, which is that you will attract drug users to your location. If everybody around you, drugs are illegal, and you legalize drugs, you're gonna get the riffraff, you're gonna get the nasty folks. Now, here's where things get a little bit personal for me. I'm from Oregon, right? I love Oregon. It's one of the most beautiful, one of the most amazing places I've ever been in the world. I didn't really appreciate it as a kid because I grew up there. I didn't know anything else. But once I left Oregon and I went around the world, I realized it is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Now, I'm currently in Hawaii, as you see. I'm visiting a good friend of mine out here, Kurt, and I have been utterly struck by the sheer beauty of this state, swimming in the ocean, the mountains just completely covered in foliage. It is also one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. But I think Oregon is a hidden gem, and we are very quickly destroying it with leftist policy. It's not just this. There are plenty of progressive policies that have been implemented in Oregon that have been attracting degenerates, right? And what do you have in Portland right now? Or recently, up until they put the National Guard in immediately after the election. But you have Antifa, you have Black Lives Matter, you have people rioting, you have people trying to burn down buildings. You are attracting the dregs of society for a variety of reasons. And now there is a law in place that says if you're a drug user, if you're addicted to crack, if you're Hunter Biden, if you are addicted to heroin, if you're addicted to meth, please make your home in Oregon. Come here. We welcome you. We want you living amongst us, right? And there is another effect of drug use, which is that a lot of people who use drugs end up committing other kinds of crimes, right? They have to sometimes steal in order to make money to afford to buy the drugs that they need, and sometimes they will commit armed robbery to steal to get the money to buy the drugs. So you end up with theft, you end up with violence, sometimes you end up with people dead. So the legalization of drugs in Oregon is going to have a lot of other effects, a ripple effect in that state. And if you live in Oregon now, it looks like a great time to leave, which to me, that's very sad. I think a lot of people's home prices are going to be devalued in very short order. I think this place is going to be a very difficult place for most people to live in the next few years. And that's very sad to me, because that's my home. That's where I grew up. So to see such a beautiful place be destroyed by leftist policies, to me, that's tragic. And I know some of you libertarians are going to say, actually, this is a good thing because X, Y, Z. There's all these reasons. But we actually know from Los Angeles, from other examples, that when you decriminalize drugs and you allow people to do them in your place, you do attract riffraff and you do create more crime. So I think, yeah, we need to keep drugs criminalized, and we need to prosecute people who take drugs they're not supposed to be taking. But again, you may disagree with me. This is just my perspective. And again, these are what I'm calling Mr. Reagan headlines. It's a new thing that I'm doing. I'm going to be posting these 3 or 4 times a day, 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you like these, go ahead and comment in the comment section below. And if you don't like these, let me know about that too. But I'm going to be posting these for the foreseeable future, and hopefully they inform you about some of the stuff that's going on in the world. All right, that's it for me, and I will see you guys next time.
If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? The martyrs of history were not fools. And our honored dead, who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis, didn't die in vain.